Joanna is a breath, body, mind level 4 teacher in the UK. And she has just published her new book, The Trauma Informed Coach, which includes teaching some breath, body, mind practices. Joanna is being level 4, of course, one of our lead teachers, one of our busiest teachers. And she's been a tremendous support to us in the growth and development and teaching in Ukraine, including the practice sessions as well as the courses. She just doesn't know how to say no. I can't imagine why, but we love having her here. And so, Joanna, please, oh, here it is.
It arrived in time. That was good timing.
Yes, it's a beautiful, beautiful book, and anyone interested in learning that. So please, Joanna, now.
Thank you. What Dr. Gerbug didn't mention is she wrote the foreword, and that there are breath, body, mind practices in the book. It's not just my book. So yeah, I feel honoured that that was able to happen in time, because I started writing the book long before doing the BBM training. So much of my involvement with breath, body, mind happened through Zoom. I've never met anybody in the BBM community in person. It's all happened through Zoom. And so I can thank Zoom and being in very long UK lockdowns, having the time and space to actually attend the training and then become involved in the teaching and bringing breath, body, mind to the UK and European time zones. So as a result of not just being able to attend, but being able to come and practice and become, feel like part of a community of like-minded souls. I'd already discovered breathing and mindfulness techniques many years ago. Went on the original, I think it was your very first online program. And within a couple of minutes, I was thinking, I don't even know how to breathe. Whereas I thought I knew so many things, and I just learned so much from that program and just, you know, became so involved and wanted to share the practices with people in my own time zone, but also I have a particular interest in trauma, hence the nature of my book. And I first came across Dr. Gerbug. Personally, I'd already read The Healing Power of Breath a long time before and put it on the shelf and kind of forgotten about it. And then I was due to attend the trauma summit in Ireland that Dr. Gerbug was presenting at. And it went online like everything else in 2020. So I watched the video here, home alone, and saw the presentation and thought, I really want to train with them. I wonder if they're training online. And at that point, I don't think you were, but it was in progress. But I saw the video that was shown of Dr. Brown in South Sudan and saw the shift in such simple breathing practices on the physiology and the faces of the people, particularly the children. And I can feel the emotion arising already, but I sat here and cried because it was so powerful to see something so simple make such a big shift to a community that had been enslaved and didn't know what was going on. And my own voluntary work had been in Kenya, and so I'd been supporting a school since 2000 and had gone out to volunteer and teach in the school as a volunteer a couple of times. So my immediate thought then went to the school and, wow, wouldn't it be amazing if we could bring these practices to the school? So through the power of Zoom, we managed to get Zoom into the school and train 2 teachers in the school. So my involvement, as Dr. Gerbug says, I don't think I know how to say no. I've kind of pushed a lot of my other work to one side to focus more on BBM because I'm interested in what works and what helps people. And I think BBM really does. And it helps people in a way that other talking therapies don't seem to touch people's hearts and makes shifts so quickly. So I've been intent on building a UK and European team so that Dr. Gerbug and Dr. Brown and the American teachers don't have to get up before they go to bed to come and teach on that time zone, or we don't have to be up till really late doing programs, that we've now been able to offer 3 programs on European time, and have just recently completed the level 1 training, which is the first program where I held the space essentially for the wonderful teachers, and Linda helped us, and it was just amazing to be able to do that. And we had people from Ukraine and Turkey on that program, so it was wonderful to be able to bring that and share it with such a wider community. But we also have people zooming in from all over the world, so although my intention was that it would be for Europeans and people from the UK, actually we had people from pretty much every continent, so it was inspirational to be able to do that. And I know I also want to just mention the Ukraine program, because in those early days, Jyoti's already mentioned it, when we came together of what could we do and how could breathing possibly help. I just said, well, whatever you're doing, I'll be a part of it. And I can remember on the first crisis program, there was one lady who I believe is on this call and may even be speaking later. I just gave my email address to and said, I've got a program running this weekend and I've got regular classes. If you want to come, come. And she did, but we got the time wrong. So just as everything was ending, she logged in with a friend. And rather than just say, oh, sorry, you're too late, I decided let's breathe together and see what we can do, because I could see the stress on their faces and I wanted to see what we could do just with a small amount of time. During the crisis program, they've been introduced to breathing buddies by Dr. Gerbarg, the idea of breathing with a little soft toy. And I said, have you got a breathing buddy to hand? And neither of them did, but they went off and found something that they could use as a breathing buddy. And it wasn't a toy, I think, and I may be corrected if I'm wrong, but one had a pair of socks and one had a hat, but they breathed with their little breathing buddies. And as they started to do that, I started to see them relax more than I had just doing the breathing practices. So since then, and there's people from Ukraine who would talk more about what has been happening, I've just volunteered my time to be part of that training program, but also to run a regular Friday practice. There's also a practice on a Monday, but for many months until the training started to happen on a Friday, we had a Friday practice group, and 2 of the translators who helped me with that are here today. Because it was more than just the practices, it was the coming together, the sense of community that we had coming together as a group on a Friday, and the chats that we had before and after that were just as powerful. And so what people shared was how restorative it was, how important it was to feel cared for, remembered and supported. Sorry, I can see you, Liana, crying, so just going to set me going now. So I think it's time to stop talking and say thank you to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joanna, for sharing that. And we love it when you share your heart as well as your very brilliant mind. So thank you for all the work that you've been doing. And I'm sorry we took away your Friday group. We have to find a way to give that back to you. Thank you so much.